Hello and namaste students. Hope you are all doing great. Hope you are all safe and healthy. Today we are going to start with the third chapter in class 7 called data handling. This is the first session among the 3 sessions. I know data handling is not new to you. You have studied in class 6. Let us have a quick recap of class 6 subtopics, what you have studied about data handling. In class 6, you have studied about meaning and collection of data, recording of data, organization of data, presentation of data through pictograph and bar graph, and interpretation of data. Pictograph. I am sure you are all eagerly waiting to draw, but you have done that already in class 6. Observe this pictograph and identify the most popular pet. You are right, they are dogs. Which is the least popular? Fish. In this pictograph, can you identify the most preferred mode of transport to school? Correct, it is auto. Can you see the emojis on that? Even though walking is good for health, we prefer auto, but in the emoji you see a smiley for walking. Walking is good for health. Let us practice it. Bar graph is another mode of expressing the data pictorially. A survey was conducted by students on the most liked fruit. This is one of the bar graphs where you need to identify the most preferred or most loved fruit. Correct, it is banana. Children, do you observe something else here? The same data has been expressed in 2 different ways. One is vertical bar graph, the other one is horizontal bar graph. Observe this bar graph and identify the most popular sport. Yes, it is soccer or football. Now, data handling has been a part and parcel of our life. Right from the time we get up from the bed till we go to the bed in the night, we handle data formally or informally. Now, let us have a look at informal data handling, and later we will move on to formal data handling. If you observe this particular picture, you will be surprised why mother with her 2 kids in a kitchen in informal data handling. Yes, my dear children, mothers are the best data handlers. You know how? Right from the time she get up from the bed, she has to plan for the day's breakfast, afternoon lunch, evening tea or snack, and even night dinner. If it's a festival season, she has to think about the guests, the quantity of the food that she has to prepare, the sweets, delicacies, what she has to do. Not only that, it is not for one day, she has to even plan for the entire month grocery, vegetables and many other things. So, hats off to all mothers. In the next picture you can observe father sitting with their son or a daughter along with his wife planning for the entire monthly budget. Father, being the main earning member of the family, has to plan for the bills that he has to pay, be it water bill, electricity bill, school fee, transportation cost, many other things. Apart from that, he has to also think about the savings, the insurance policies. He has to save money for the future as well as for the kids. Children, not only that, you are also best data handlers. You ask me how? I appreciate you because you all will plan for your playtime, study time, your study resources and many other things. Hats off to you too. Now we will move on to the next aspect. We all go out and we visit hotels. Hoteliers are the best data handlers. If you want, you can go and ask the person who is sitting at the cash counter, which is the most preferred food here or the most sold dish. He will tell idli. Which is the most sold dosa? Of course, masala dosa. You all love that. If they don't have the idea about the most preferred food by the customers, they end up in shortage of food, or if they prepare more without having an idea, they may even waste the food. So, they should have the idea about how much to prepare, what to prepare and when to prepare. So, they are the best data handlers, isn't it? Another one, travel time, vacation time. I know you are all not able to go out now because of COVID, but the days are not too far. We all will move around. Before visiting any place, we plan our travel. How? The place to visit, the places we stay, the mode of transport, the money or the expenses that is incurring for all this, everything we plan. Apart from that, dresses that you have to carry for these places, whether it is hot season or cold season, you have to have the information about that as well. You will be even surprised to see cute bride and the bridegroom. Of course, children, this is also informal data handling. You know how? Before wedding, the bride and the bridegroom wants to know about each other, about their families, about their educational backgrounds, salary, place of work, and many other things. Also, the families will collect some more information, and once everything goes well, they fix the date, time, place, everything, even plan for the resources like dresses, jewelries, the food, and many aspects. Don't you think even data handling has an important role in weddings as well? True. Now, let us move on to the next concept called formal data handling. Formal data handling are in many areas. Here are a few which are listed: sales and marketing, sports and education, weather forecasting, health and hygiene, agriculture, and science and technology. Dear children, we visit the shops during festival season or on many occasions to purchase dresses. The shopkeepers there will show us variety of dresses. Not only that, he has variety of designs, colors, sizes. Before showing that, he should have an idea about most preferred color or the size that matches the customer. He cannot keep the stock of all colors and all sizes equally. He should know which is the most preferred brand, most preferred color, and most sold size. Not only the shopkeeper, children, even the wholesaler or the manufacturer must have the idea about these things, and data handling plays a vital role here. Next comes the sports and education. Sports, you all will play in the ground and get prepared for your sports day. Of course, you all practice. If your PT teacher doesn't have your data, it will be difficult for them to assess you as well. And it is Olympic season. Be it individual or team events, data handling plays a vital role in order to better themselves, as well as they should know about their opponents. In the field of education, my dear children, the time you enter the class, your class teacher takes attendance. So that itself is a important data. Apart from that, books and uniforms are issued, the shoes, and many other things. All these involves a lot of data. Your assessments has to be tabulated. Your mark sheets, your score sheets, your interests, everything has to be cumulatively given to you. Data handling plays an important role in this. Next comes weather forecasting. You all know that we get information about weather on our palm top, that is on our mobile itself. Apart from that, we get information from the news, the newspaper. How do you think we get this? The meteorological department need to handle the data very carefully, and data handling plays a very important role, and it is very formal. Next is health and hygiene. Now we are going through a very tough phase. Vaccination drives are going on. If government doesn't have the data about the number of people who are vaccinated, that is above 60, between 45 to 60, from 18 to 45, it will be a very difficult to handle these situations. Schools may open, even the children also should get vaccinated. So government must have data about all these things. Apart from the health, hygiene is also very important. Government need to ensure the proper hygiene in the bus stations or railway stations and many other public places. It is our duty to take care of the hygiene at home as well as our surroundings. Next is the agriculture. Don't you think data handling plays a role here, children? Farmers need to have the idea about the weather, the seeds, the fertilizers, and many other aspects. So data handling plays an important role in agriculture as well. In the field of science and technology, you will definitely agree that data handling plays a pivotal role right from the time when you do a small activity at home and in the laboratory of school to the launch pad where the satellite is launched to the space, data handling plays a very important role. I am sure you all will agree with me, right? After this, we need to know the need and purpose of data handling. Here are a few listed for you. For performance analysis, for comparing two individuals or two groups, for estimation and accuracy, especially during science experiments, accuracy is very important. For making appropriate predictions and also for decision making. I am sure you all will agree that decision making is an important in data handling. Now, let us discuss about the meaning of the word data. Data is a systematic collection of facts and figures to be used for a specific purpose such as a survey or analysis. Definition of data can also be given like this: a collection of numbers gathered to give some information for a specific purpose is called data. My dear children, data is derived from a Latin word called datum, which is a singular form of data. Do you know something? It has a very close relationship with our Sanskrit word dattam. In data handling, let us get to know the steps that are involved. First, it is collection of data. Second, it is recording of data, followed by organization of data. Next, it is presentation of data, and finally, interpretation of data. I am sure you all have heard about it and you have done this in class 6 as well. Let us look at an activity. In a class, teacher asked Mohit to collect the data for height in centimeters of his classmates. His findings are recorded on the blackboard and was shown as given below. Teacher found it difficult to get the required information from this list of numbers. So, she divided the class into groups and asked them to provide the data in a very organized manner, the way they have learnt in class 6. Among all the groups, 3 groups, Group A, Group B and Group C, provided the information properly in a tabular form as shown here. They made 3 columns, in the first column being height, in the second column tally, in the third column they wrote it as frequency. My dear children, frequency is defined as the repetition of scores in a given set of data. If you observe here children, 161 is 2 students, 162 are 5 students and 163 with maximum number of students, that is 7. And at the end, if you observe 166 centimeters, there is one and only one student in the class. My dear children, when the data is just 25 in number, then it is easier for us to handle in this tabular column way. But when it is huge set of data, when there are thousands and lakhs of data, then it is difficult for anybody to tabulate like this. So what is the next alternative? You all know that we elect someone to work for us at the government level. It can be an MP or an MLA. All of us cannot enter the parliament or the Vidhana Saudha. So the elected member of parliament or the MLA will work for us. Similarly, here to represent the huge set of data, we have the representative values. These representative values, we call them as measures of central tendency. You will have a question, why is it measures of central tendency? Let me give you an example and explain. Children, when they do assessments or exams in a school, you all have understood that very high scorers, say 100 on 100, is not very high in number. Similarly, very low scorers are also not very high in number. Do you agree with me that mid-range or the average mark scorers are more in a class? To match this itself, your class teachers or the subject teachers will plan their lessons and we teach. Remember, each one of them are very important for a teacher and they will devise the lesson. They give special attention to those who require their help. But more or less, they concentrate on the middle region. Similarly, we also come across when we visit shop. A shopkeeper will not keep the dresses of all the sizes same number. He will replenish the stock only after getting to know which is the particular brand which is most sold, which is the color that is most preferred, which size customers are mostly visiting his shop. All these taken into consideration and he will stock. Now, you also know that people who purchase very costly dresses are also very low, and at the same time people who purchase very economical dresses also not many, but many of them prefer the medium cost dresses. Do you all agree with me? Then we also should know that there are scores which are there mostly concentrated towards the center. This we call it as the central tendency. We came to know that the data set is more concentrated towards the center, and these particular numbers has to be represented by some value, and those values are called representative values, and those representative values are collectively called measures of central tendency. Now, let us see the definition of measures of central tendency. My dear children, there are three measures of central tendency. They are mean, mode and median. My dear children, mean, median and mode are the representative values of a group of observations. They are called the measures of central tendency of the data, as I have already mentioned. Their purpose is to quickly give a general impression of the overall distribution of scores and numbers around them. Now let us take a look at the definition of the first measure of central tendency, that is mean. Mean is the simplest and most widely used measure of averages. It simply involves taking the sum of all numbers of a data set, then dividing the sum by the number of scores or values used in the data collected. My dear children, mean is also called arithmetic mean. It is also defined as the sum of all observations divided by total number of observations. Now, let us solve some examples to understand more about mean. The first situation or the first problem is here for you. Sanju's marks in all 6 subjects in an examination out of 100 is given below. What is his mean or average score in the examination? The scores are 89, 84, 91, 87, 77 and 94. To calculate the mean, we know the formula already, that mean score is equal to sum of all the marks in all subjects divided by total number of subjects. Now, if we add all these and divide it by 6 subjects, we get 522 divided by 6, and the mean score of Sanju in the examination is 87. My dear children, you observe that the mean score 87 is one of the marks in one of the subjects that Sanju has already scored. Next situation is here for you. Rohini was getting ready for her school sports day. I am sure you are also eagerly waiting for the school sports day. Don't worry children, the schools will reopen very soon. She practiced 100 meters race daily. She recorded the time in seconds for her best performance in a week before the event. Her recordings were as shown here: 60, 62, 61, 60, 59, 63 and 58. Can you help her to calculate the mean time that she may require to complete the race on the sports day? Mean time required is equal to the total time to cover all races divided by the number of races that she has recorded. If you add all this, you will get 423, which should be divided by 7 because she has recorded 7 races. And the mean time is 60.42. What do you infer from this? We get to know that she may require on an average of 60.42 seconds to cover 100-meter race on the sports day. Ravi, a candy seller, says to his son that on an average 17 chocolates of a particular brand was sold in 14 days. He says he daily recorded the sales data as given below, but missed to note on one particular day. The sales data were 26, 12, 14, 15, X, 17, 9, 11 and so on. X represents the number of chocolates that he sold on that day where he missed to record. Can you help him in finding the missing value of the chocolate sale on that day? Children, the given 14 observations are already listed and told to you. Arithmetic mean is given as 17 because on an average 17 chocolates were sold, and arithmetic mean is given by sum of all observations divided by total number of observations. On substituting the values, arithmetic mean is 17. So we get 17 equals 216 plus x divided by 14. My dear children, you can add all the values except x. Don't make a mistake while writing 216 plus x. Some of them may write 216x. You can add only the like terms. So 17 equals 216 plus x whole divided by 14. Cross multiplying 17 and 14, we get 216 plus x is equal to 238. On transposing 216 to the RHS, we get x equal to 22. That means Ravi missed to record the sale of 22 chocolates on a particular day. Next, we look at another situation. The following table shows temperature in Bangalore recorded every morning from Monday to Saturday of a particular week and at a particular time during the onset winter. The data recorded are as follows. What is the approximate temperature in Bangalore? To find that, the same formula, sum of all observations divided by total number of observations. When you add all this, you get the total as 122 divided by 6, and the mean temperature is 20.33 degrees Celsius. My dear children, please note that in the previous examples and in this example, the mean that we have obtained is not a number in the data that we have collected. And also, mean value can be decimal or even a fraction. It need not be a whole number or natural number only. During a test, 9 students of a class scored the following marks: 2, 4, 5, 7 and so on. Find the mean score of the group. The mean score here we have obtained is 9. Later, it was found that one of the students' marks was wrongly entered as 37 instead of 73. So, the new scores were 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 11, 12, 13 and 73. Do you think the mean of the scores get affected since the mark was changed? Let us check that. Arithmetic mean again with the same formula. When we add, the new sum is 135 divided by 9. Earlier it was 99. Now obviously the mean value will change from 9 to 15. My dear children, the mean value gets affected when the extreme values changes. That means when there are outliers are there, when there are outliers, the mean value gets affected. Note that even though 15 is the arithmetic average, it is distorted or affected by the unusual high score of 73 compared to other scores. Almost all the students' scores are below the average. Therefore, in this case, the mean is not a good representative of the central tendency in this sample. Children, let us have an activity here. It's called calendar fun. Let us consider a calendar. You may be wondering why December 2020? You can consider any month and of any year, children. Now, in this particular month, December 2020, I will consider one particular day, that is Tuesday. We see here the 1st, 8th, 15th, 22nd and 29th are Tuesday itself. Can you find the mean of this particular set of data? Yes, I will give you another way to do this, children. Add this 1 and 29 and divide it by 2, you get 15. Add 8 and 22 to get 30 and divide it by 2, you get again 15. And of course, the middlemost number is 15 itself. Now let me consider a particular week of this month, that is from 20th to 26th, children. Can you find the mean of this one? Of course you will do add all the numbers and divide it by 7, because there are 7 days in a week. If you add up, you will get 161. When you divide it by 7, you get 23. Now you are all predicting the way you did for the previous one, right? You are right. When you add 20 and 26, you will get 46, which is divided by 2, you will get 23. 21 plus 25, when you divide it by 2, you will get again 23. 22 plus 24 divided by 2, that is 46 divided by 2, again it is 23. Children, in this you will observe 23 is the number which is already in the data set, and it is the middlemost number as well. Now let me consider a grid here with 3 by 3 numbers. Can you find the mean of these 9 numbers? Don't waste your time in adding all the 9. Instead, you add 14 and 30, you will get 44, divided by 2 you will get 22. Predict the next one. Correct. 15 plus 29 if you add, then also you will get 44. When you divide it by 2, you will get 22. Next is 16 and 28. Again 44 divided by 2 is 22. Lastly, if you do 21 plus 23 divided by 2, you will get 44 divided by 2, which is 22. My dear children, the average of all these 9 numbers is the middlemost number, that is 22. Now, for the same grid, can you now tell the sum of all these 9 numbers that has been selected without actually adding it? Correct. You have to multiply 9 with the average 22 to get the sum, that is 198. Now it is experiment time. Do it yourself, and it is called reaction time. My dear children, how should it be done? I will be telling you. Before that, you require only one instrument for this. You just require a 30 centimeter scale or a ruler, and if you have a stopwatch. Well, how to do this we will see now. Children, get a 30 centimeter ruler or a scale. You hold the ruler at the 30 centimeter mark and let it hang vertically as shown in the figure. Now, tell your friend whose reaction time is tested to place his or her thumb and index finger at the 0 mark and be ready to catch. His or her fingers should not touch the ruler. Without warning him or her, let go the ruler and the person tries to immediately catch it. Record the distance the ruler fell before being caught. You do this by reading where the ruler was caught by him or her. Repeat this thrice with the same person, and the average of the 3 distances should be taken. Switch the role and repeat the first to 6th step, so you are the subject and your partner is the experimenter. Later, tabulate the data and find the average of all the distances, and you will be surprised to note the reaction time. Now, please note the key points before we end the session, children. Mean is one of the averages in measures of central tendency. Mean of the data set may or may not be a score in the list of numbers considered. Mean of the data need not be natural or whole number only. Mean value gets affected when extreme values change. Now it's question and answer session, children. Take it as a homework, do it and submit it to your teacher. First question, find the mean of first 5 prime numbers. Second question, the runs scored in a cricket match by a player in 11 innings are as follows. Find the mean of this data. Third question, the rainfall in millimeters in a city on 7 days of a certain week was recorded as follows. And you need to find the mean rainfall for the week in that particular city. Children, let us summarize what we have studied in today's class. We studied purpose of data handling, meaning of data, collection, recording and organizing data. Apart from that, we also got a small introduction about the measures of central tendency, namely the mean, median and mode. We discussed in detail with simple applications and problems about arithmetic mean. My dear children, I am Pramod Keshumurthy. assistant teacher in mathematics at Sindhi High School, Hebal, Bangalore. Till we meet again, namaste.